Hello there, it's Alara here from Alara Overall Coaching, and I am part of a community of roarers. We roar, we translate that fire, we connect that fire in our belly and we spray it. We're committed to making our unique impact in the world. We're action takers, we're risk takers, and that we know that when we're most alive is when the world most benefits from it. And while they're spending more and more time getting weighed down, while they are getting more and more time, spending more and more time getting weighed down by life and its burdens, we are harnessing our learnings and turning them into gold. And while they're being busy, staying in their survival mode, we're busy taking risks and action fueled by our belief in the world that we want to create. And people don't really understand why we take those risks, but they don't need to. Because the people who do understand are the people who hear us. Because we can roar. So in listening to what I just said, if you also roar, you would have resonated with what I said, which is why I wanted to do this video for you. Because your target market aren't your people. You've been speaking to the wrong people, which kind of goes against a lot of what the gurus say, right? They say, oh, you need to find your target market, you need to find your niche. But the problem with that is all of this is defined, your target market is defined by job titles, age, gender, status, mum or a parent or a kid, whatever. And it's all these surface level things, and that is not something that creates a sense of belonging. Your people are the people that believe in the same thing as you and have the same core values as you. When you connect with those people, you end up with a tribe. When you end up with a tribe, people emotionally come on board with your project. If you want people to believe and come on board with your cause, with your business, with your startup, with your project, with your mission, you need to connect to them on an emotional level. You need a tribal call out, not a target market specific target. Okay, so if you want people to emotionally come on board with your cause, you're going to need a tribal call out rather than a target market. You need to find your people. So I'm going to give you exactly how to do that. The first thing you need to do is you first need to get clear on what are your beliefs and what is the future that you want to create. What are your beliefs? What are your core values? Who are you when you're at your best? And what is the future that you want to create? Because if you're not clear on it, then how are you going to attract people with the same type? So literally write this down. Who am I when I'm at my best? What are the core values that define me when I'm at my best? And what kind of future does that mean I want to create? What kind of future am I trying to create? Okay? And it can be, especially for people that are in their mind a lot, this step can be like, oh, I don't know what my core values are. This is a super important stage. So the second stage is around actually creating a tribal call out. And this can be in the format of your about section on your website. It can be a video that you create. It can be just something that you have in conversations, something that you talk about in presentations, something that you have in one-on-one networking interactions. Okay, it can be this call out can have very many different forms, but it will have the same structure with these three key elements in it. So the first key element that you need to create a tribal call out is to give them an identity. Have an identity. Give yourselves a title that you can all come underneath. So roarers, we roar. We can roar. It can be, I've heard titles like Boss Babes. I heard titles like We Are Badass. I've heard titles like, Russell Branson's is Funnel Hackers. Apple's is The Crazy Ones. So it doesn't have to be a business appropriate term. It needs to be something that people can be like, yes, that is me. Okay, so give yourself an identity and define that identity. Okay, the second thing is identify the movement that you're creating. What is the world that you are trying to create? What is it that you believe in? What is the world that you are trying to create? What are you fighting for? Okay, that's the second stage. And the third stage of whatever you're creating, the video or the about section on your website, the script, you can end up with exactly a script like I just did at the start of this video. So the third element for that is you need to create an us versus them separation. And this kind of sounds like a bit mean, it's not very inclusive, It's not, this is not to be mean. This is to create a sense of belonging. Our human nature needs a sense of separation for us to feel a sense of belonging to something. So identify who you are not, who you are fighting against. What are you against? Who are you collectively separating yourself away from? This is super important, and regardless of how kind of mean you think it is an essential step in this journey. So in order for your tribal call out, you need those three key elements: a title, an identity for yourselves, and define that title. The second stage is identify the movement, and the third stage is separate yourself from people. And like I said, when you actually create this script, it doesn't have to be a very long script. You can turn it into a video. You can turn it into your about section on your website. You can turn it into a presentation or something that comes up in your conversations. So but it's so important to have this tribal call out, so when people hear it, your people start resonating with it, and you end up attracting your people that believe in what you believe in, so they get on board with your mission rather than just understanding what you do, right? If you want people to get on board with what you do rather than just understanding it, you're going to need to do this. So for that reason, if all of this made sense to you and it resonated, then drop your websites below, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm offering to look through your website and see how you can increase how effectively you're bringing people on board emotionally, how effectively you're speaking to people's emotions and creating that sense of belonging through your website, because your website is the number one place that people can get that sense of belonging through. So if it is something that you resonated with, drop your websites below, and I will give you free personalized feedback, and I will send it in a message to you. And then if you wanted to talk through how to implement it more, then I would be happy to talk to you, jump on a quick call with you and talk to you through that. So if that is something you want to do, drop your websites below. And also, I'm thinking of opening up spaces for my raw transformation, which is a way that I help startups, especially tech startups, create an emotional connection through the audience. So translate with the audience. So translate that fire in their belly to their audience, so that their audience can connect to it as well. Exactly what we've been talking about in this video. So let me know if that would be something that you would be interested in if I was to open that up. Talking about tribal call outs, I actually had to reject someone on the call today because I just did not feel like he had the same core beliefs as me. I did not feel like he wanted to. He had a drive to create a change in the world that was unique to him. His focus was totally just money focused. So this tribal call out is as much about attracting people to you as it is knowing who isn't the right person for you and where you're going to spend your energy and effort into. So I'm going to leave you there with that. Drop your websites below if you would like some feedback around how to create some more emotional connection. Have an amazing day. I've said so many times. Have an amazing day. Bye.